hopes and dreams that I carry for the future for my own home fire, my own family, and that of Muscano are pretty similar. You know, it's finding well-being, it's finding love and connection, relationship on the land with my relatives. Because I know that all of the things that we need, they exist within our culture, within our teachings, within Askimatsu and out on the land where we are today. And that's why it's so important for us to continue to invite those teachings from our knowledge keepers and elders to help us find that balance and live in a relationship out on Askimatsu and with our Creator, with Mother Earth, with each other and with ourselves.
I look at that probably every time I come here, and I always wish and I always hope that we could have, we could have this piece of land where we can start creating our own infrastructure to help our families and our children and our agencies, because land is so important. Because right now they're just bouncing around.
My hopes for the future is if we can have a place that's permanent for all indigenous people to come and gather. They don't have to worry about landowners or landlords or imposing regulation. You can't smudge. You can't have a fire. Those are all important things that we have related to our cultural practice. So that's my dreams, is to be able to be established, to have a piece of land that we can connect with so that we can teach our young people. Use that place as a safe place to teach our young people.
I think that what I'd like to see for goals for the future is not just young people, but all people, because just wish we could see more of them spend time out here, because this would be a start of giving them some moments of stillness and to really reflect. And I know from experience, things like that, this kind of surrounding makes you want to change your life, makes you realize there's better out there for you. And so I just wish we could put 1,000 of them here a day, because I know it would help them. So that's what I'd like to see, is for us to be able to have the means, everything from funding to staffing, to bring them out, to bring more people out here that need this, just to have even a one night out here. Because when you wake up and look at this, or when the sun's going down and you see this, it gives you that minute that you're not out on the street. And I speak from experience. It gives you a minute of stillness, and it makes you, very possibly will make you want to change your life. That's what I'd like to see.
My hopes is to have all of my grandkids out here doing ceremony. My hopes, my dreams is to see me, my family in the lodge together. That's one of my biggest dreams. The roots, identity, and having to be here with my granddaughter and my daughter, and them learning about the history and my history. And that's so powerful.
I would like to see us own our land, to be able to shape the property that we operate on in whichever way that we best see fit for the organization and for the families and the children and everybody that comes through, for our elders, and for these camps. Like, these are they're so beautiful to be able to be out on the land and offer this to people, and we could do so much more if we had ownership over it, and we could really invest for a long-term future and shape the land into something that, yeah, I don't know. It could be. There's so many different things that we could do, offer to families if we owned this land. So that's something that I would hope to see soon in the future.
I hope that we can buy this land.
Why?
So that we can have more expanded ceremony in places rather than just here.
What does ceremony mean to you?
It means culture, it means respect to your family, and to bring back ceremony from back then.
I have a hope and a dream that land would be, the word that's coming is surrendered, like released or surrendered for the purpose of this kind of work, so that the communities living in Calgary, people from all over Canada that identify as Indigenous, have a land base to practice from. Because even as a non-Indigenous person, when I'm in the city and I'm looking for a place to have a fire, I'm very limited. Right? If I can't do it in a backyard, or if I live in an apartment or something like that, it's like, well, where can I even have a fire? Let alone if people want to put up traditional structures and have a long fire and have a sweat lodge. That's hard to do in the city. Right? I can move around in Calgary, and there's like different denominations of kinds of churches and mosques and synagogues and other places of worship everywhere. But there's not too many sweat lodges. Right? There's not too many places where you can do a dance, or even where you can hold a traditional funerals. It's not like that. You have to kind of go into the... So my hopes and dreams are really about the land base, but also in a city that there is this revitalizing or of an entrepreneurial spirit to like meet the needs of the people who have these needs in an urban center.
I think just to hope, just that you just hope that these programs reach so deep into the community, and you just hope that they just grow and grow, that they're just bursting at the seams, which is such a beautiful thing to just bring so many people out here, come out to our lodge. It's so great when we do the lodge rebuild, and how we had 50 people at our last lodge rebuild. Like, you just hope that this continues, that we just keep reaching out to everyone.
I think that we need Indigenous ways of knowing and practice in all municipalities and levels of government in some capacity. Like, I don't care if it's like local groups and local nations that come together for each individual place, or something more large scale, although I understand this is difficult. But people do not have spiritual centers anymore. We've lost this idea that there is something greater than ourselves. Everything is about right now and me and AI and all this nonsense. And it's like, people are so lost because of this. Everyone's depressed. Everyone feels like they're not fulfilled in life. And yet there is so much more. And if you knew the names of your relations, if you knew how to hold a circle and talk to people honestly over the smudge, if you knew you could go and you could talk to your elders and they could give you advice and put you on a good path, and have that be a solid, honest relationship. If we had that everywhere in some capacity, I think things would be a lot better. People would feel a lot happier. I know that out here, there is that. We have a shared understanding. We know the fire. Lots of people, we practice the smudge. We know what it's like to talk to each other honestly and to sing songs together. And I think that's what I want to see. I want to see Miskanawa spread its roads all over the place. I want other organizations like us to be growing and flourishing. There's not many places like this that are actually, we have this land base. We've been building teepees all summer. There's a sacred fire going in there right now. Elders are painting over there. I hear songs being sung in that teepee. This is just right now. and we're here multiple times a week. This can be all the time for many people, you know. That's what I want to see.
I guess like I envision for the future and what I hope to see is kind of indigenous worldviews and ways of knowing and knowledge systems becoming just as equal as like the Western systems and like the colonial systems that we're living in now, where it's not that, you know, one is better than the other per se, but like they're both risen with the same respect and the same priority of understanding. And I think in terms of like the Western system, I hope that it's not going to continue to be a power struggle on which view is better, but rather like create space and even collaboration for things to intersect in a good way, and to really acknowledge that a lot of like indigenous knowledge is already embedded. It's just not acknowledged as that's where it had come from.
Create like such a safe place for young people and for youth to like be able to just be themselves. And I know Diamond Willow, that's a safe place. I just like hope in the future that there's like a bigger space and that we invite the youth to those to those tables where hard conversations happen, because like we have to listen to our youth, the youth of today. And like just a dream of mine is to make sure there's a big space for the youth to have their problems be heard and stuff.
My hope for the future is that I can continue to and sit in more either circles, be at more ceremonies, at more just cultural events that have people from all different walks of life, not just, you know, the Indigenous population, but people from all walks of life, all, you know, different kinds of ethnic backgrounds coming to learn, to eat, to sing, to dance together. One lodge or one event or, you know, one ceremony that they would see that's how it was. And so I think, you know, little by little, as more and more people educate themselves and want to learn, that can become more of, you know, a normal thing to have more areas of ceremony, more areas where ceremony can happen, more times of sacred space, and just have, you know, our population in Alberta that be a very normal thing to do rather than, you know, just listening to the stereotypes or being like, I'm not Indigenous, so that's not a space for me to go to. My dream is that is somewhere that everybody at one point in their life will be able to feel normal, because that's a part of this country's history.
Yeah.
I think my hopes and dreams for the future are that our children get to grow up in a world where they know they belong, where they know they're safe, where they're free to be who they are, in a world where they know their value, in a world where they know how remarkable they are, and in a world where they really get to step into that, where they get to step into whatever it is that's meant for them. Yeah, I would say all my hopes and my dreams are for the children, and that's why we do all of this.
I guess the hope is, I help facilitate a group on Saturdays for Indigenous dads, and they bring their little ones, and it's always cool to see, you know, just the youngins, and, you know, as the teaching, I guess, this week has been, it's for the babies, it's for the, you know, the younger generation, and you know, seeing my daughter just you know, just help. She rolled up a little ball of sage and she struck the match and she lit sage for it, and she told the little ones to come, and just I was just absolutely blown away. So I guess my hope is just, you know, that continues, and, you know, I feel very very honored to be able to share that with her, and she's able to help be a role model for even one that's younger than her. So just to hope that, you know, this continues, because we've created and come such a far way, and yeah, just to see everybody keep saying, but yeah, just to see it keep growing is yeah.
You know, I think for our youth to grow up and to feel important and heard and seen, and to not have one question that, you know, if something were to happen to them or if they were in a hard place, that people would be there to listen to them and to help them. You know, I have hopes and dreams that the teachings that are passed down through our elders, that our youth continue to listen and to learn and to carry those teachings and traditions forward. Just the humility that we learn from our elders and the selflessness of what they give and, you know, what they carry. I hope those are traits that are passed down to future generations, and that people continue doing things thinking about our future generations, recognizing that the impact that we have and how we walk on earth today it's not just impacting the generation that's coming behind us, but it's, you know, those 7 generations that are to come, and we really need to pay attention in how we treat each other, how we treat Mother Earth, how we walk in this world, and recognize that even when we're gone, the impact that we have is going to be long lasting.